2 days after an attempted assassination, Donald Trump made a victorious comeback to the public spotlight on Monday night at the Republican National Convention, where he was greeted with thunderous applause from hundreds of supporters wearing bandages over one ear. Raising his fist, the former president arrived into the Milwaukee Convention Arena to the strains of a live rendition of God Bless the USA. He then made his way slowly through the applauding delegates, some of whom had tears in their eyes, before saying hello to important political allies and his family, which included 3 of his children, but not his wife Melania. The crowd occasionally erupted in fists and yelled, "Fight! Fight! Fight!" repeating President Trump's exclamation following a bullet wound to his ear during a rally on Saturday in Pennsylvania. A wave of political momentum is propelling the Republican contender for the presidential election in November. After a dismal debate performance last month, the Democratic Party has begun to doubt 81-year-old Joe Biden's candidacy, while Trump's team has been rejoicing over recent court victory. Seated beside Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, his running mate and vice presidential candidate, the former president listened to speeches for around an hour at the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. Senator Vance's inclusion on the November election ticket was revealed just a few hours prior. Trump did not give a speech, although he did occasionally seem touched by the thousands in attendance. He lowered his head in prayer and repeated the phrase, "Thank you, everybody," in his tongue. Although it was not formally scheduled on the first day of the convention, supporters and Republican delegates had been waiting for the former president's appearance for hours, some of them with tears in their eyes. The head of the Teamsters Labour Union, Sean O'Brien, was among the many speakers on Monday. He commended Trump for being tough and open to hearing opposing viewpoints, but he clarified that he was not backing any particular party. Rapper and model Amber Rose, a former Trump opponent, also spoke at the conference, sharing her political journey toward the former president. She continued, "Trump supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay or straight. It's all love." A memorable first day. The Republican convention in Wisconsin, one of the 6 battleground states that will determine the outcome of the election, saw a great start, highlighted by the arrival of Donald Trump. News of a federal judge dropping criminal charges against Trump for hiding more than 300 sensitive documents at his Florida club following his first time in office leaked out before the convention even got underway. Special prosecutor Jack Smith was appointed illegally, according to Trump appointee Aileen Cannon, and lacked the jurisdiction to file a 37-count indictment against the outgoing president. With this victory, the Republican nominee now has no chance of facing another criminal trial before November 5th, when Americans vote to the polls. During a roll call vote shortly after the convention opened, about 2,500 Republican delegates formally nominated Trump for president. Chosen as Vance's running mate, breaking with recent practice, Trump announced Mr. Vance as his choice for vice president on Monday afternoon on his Truth Social network. He has previously waited until the convention to make the announcement. Just minutes before the announcement, the senator from Ohio and best-selling memoirist Hillbilly Elegy is said to have learned he was chosen. He grinned and appeared a little amazed as he and his spouse Usha entered the throng and struck up conversations with the masses of delegates encircling them. "I don't think you could have done better of the 3 contestants on the shortlist," remarked Republican delegate Greg Simpson, who resides close to Vance's Middletown, Ohio, childhood home. However, Democrats hinted that they would bring up Mr. Vance's anti-abortion stance and ties to big tech during his venture capitalist tenure. In a message published on X, Democratic President Joe Biden stated that while Mr. Vance talks a big game about working people, he will raise taxes on most Americans while lowering taxes on the wealthy. In remarks to journalists, he referred to Mr. Vance as a clone of Trump. In an interview with NBC News, the president also stated that it was a mistake to have declared it was time to put Trump in the bullseye in a call with funders a few days prior to the near death of his political opponent. However, he held his opponent accountable for raising the political ante with his denials of the results of the 2020 election, his vows to pardon the rioters who stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021, and his jokes about a serious attack on Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi's husband. After a short break from rallies following the incident, Mr. Biden has resumed his election campaign and is traveling to Las Vegas for engagements, while Trump is still in Milwaukee and gets ready to give his closing night convention speech on Thursday night. Rally attack overshadows economic theme, speeches by Republican officials and common people supporting the day's theme, the economy, occupied the first day of the convention. Out-of-control inflation is squeezing budgets and both violent crime and drug epidemics are pushing people out of our cities, all while Democrats do nothing, New York Union head Bobby Bartles said to the Assembly. He declared, "That's why this Union Democrat is going to vote for Trump." Delegates from all throughout the United States and its territories had gathered, but their memories of the assassination attempt remained vivid. Representative Joe Mullins from Florida stated, "Saturday scared me. If it weren't for that half inch, we would live in a very different world. I hadn't sobbed that much since my mother passed away, but I had tears in my eyes." One of the candidates for vice president on Trump's shortlist, Senator from South Carolina Tim Scott, addressed the Assembly by saying, "If you didn't believe in miracles before Saturday, you better be believing right now." The American lion got back up on his feet and roared, but the devil came to Pennsylvania on Saturday with a rifle, he declared. Post your comments with your feedback. Get our channel subscribed.